Hello, curious minds. Today, I've got 10 facts so wild you'll think I made them up. From animals that defy biology to planets where it literally rains diamonds. These are the universe's best-kept secrets. We're diving into the weirdest corners of science and nature. So grab a snack, get comfy, and prepare to have your mind blown. I guarantee you'll see the world differently after this. Let's get started. Let's start our journey with a creature that predates even the mighty dinosaurs, the jellyfish. These mesmerizing beings have been drifting through Earth's oceans for over 500 million years, making them one of the oldest living animals on the planet. Jellyfish are truly unique. They have no brain, no heart, and no blood. Instead, their bodies are made up of a simple yet effective structure that allows them to survive in ways that seem almost alien to us. Their bodies are about 95% water. Imagine a ghostly, pulsing jello gliding through the sea with a single purpose: to survive and thrive. They don't need lungs or gills. Instead, jellyfish absorb oxygen directly from the seawater around them, making complex organs unnecessary for their survival. Their simple nerve net acts as a basic nervous system, helping them sense their environment, respond to touch, and capture unsuspecting prey with their stinging tentacles. With no bones and no central command center, jellyfish are the ultimate minimalist design, yet this simplicity has allowed them to persist for 500 million years. They've witnessed the rise and fall of continents, survived mass extinctions, and endured ice ages, outlasting countless other species that have come and gone. Jellyfish are true survivors, drifting through time like living lava lamps, silent, graceful, and almost hypnotic as they move with the ocean's currents. Next time you spot a jellyfish, whether in the wild or at an aquarium, remember, you're looking at one of Earth's oldest and most successful life forms, a living link to our planet's distant past. With their glowing bodies and alien-like shapes, they truly seem like beautiful, silent visitors from another world. Yet they are very much a part of our own. It's astonishing to think that something so simple, with no brain or bones, can be so enduring and adaptable. Maybe the secret to survival isn't complexity, but the ability to go with the flow. Literally just floating through life, adapting to whatever comes their way. So next time you see a jellyfish, give it a nod of respect. These ancient mariners have truly earned their place in the story of life on Earth. What a fascinating way to begin our exploration. Let's dive into the next incredible fact. Fact 2 is about you, about the very first way you began to experience the world. Long before you could even open your eyes or take your first breath of air. Before you were even born, your senses were already waking up, quietly preparing you for life outside the womb. The very first sense you ever experience is smell. Even as a tiny fetus, your body is already tuning in to the world of sense. In the womb, your olfactory system, the part of your brain that detects smells, develops surprisingly early. This allows you to smell the amniotic fluid that surrounds you, which is flavored by the foods your mother eats every day. Garlic, spices, coffee, and even sweet fruits. These aromas pass from your mother's meals into the fluid and you breathe them in with every tiny movement. This early exposure to scent isn't just a fun fact. It actually helps newborns recognize their mothers instantly after birth, creating a powerful bond from the very first moment. Smell is our most ancient primitive sense, wired directly to the parts of our brain that control memory and emotion. It's a shortcut to our deepest feelings. That's why a single scent can instantly transport you back in time, unlocking memories and emotions you thought you'd forgotten. You started building your personal scent library before you even opened your eyes, collecting the first hints of the world through your tiny nose. Smell is the very first bridge connecting us to the world and to each other, helping us form bonds and feel safe. It's the silent language we learn before we can speak, see, or even understand words. A language of comfort, safety, and belonging. Our sensory journey truly begins with a single whiff. Isn't it amazing that our first connection to the world is through something as invisible and powerful as scent? Let's keep going. Butterflies, delicate, graceful, and taste testers with their feet. Their feet are covered in chemoreceptors, like tiny taste buds. When a butterfly lands on a leaf, it's tasting to see if it's the right plant for its eggs. Each caterpillar species eats only specific plants, so mom butterflies do a toe-tap taste test. If the leaf passes, she lays her eggs there. No need to nibble, just a tap tells her everything. Next time you see a butterfly land, remember, it's not just resting, it's analyzing. Nature's food critics have wings and taste with their toes. Weird and wonderful, right? On to the next marvel. Nature never ceases to surprise. Let's keep going. The age-old question, are zebras white with black stripes or black with white stripes? Science says, zebras are black with white stripes. Underneath, their skin is black. The white stripes are just areas with no pigment. The stripes aren't just for show. They confuse predators and deter biting flies. Flies struggle to land on stripes, making zebras' coats a natural bug repellent. So, zebra's iconic look is both camouflage and pest control. A black animal with a built-in stylish defense system. Nature's fashion is functional. Who knew stripes could be so strategic? On to the next cosmic fact. Let's keep going. Imagine all the grains of sand on every beach and desert on Earth. Every tiny particle from the sun-baked dunes of the Sahara to the endless coastlines that circle our planet adds up to an almost unimaginable number. Try to picture scooping up a handful of sand, thousands of grains just in your palm. Now picture this. There are more stars in the observable universe than grains of sand on our planet. Each point of light in the night sky is just one star among billions in our own galaxy. And there are billions of galaxies beyond that. Scientists estimate there are about 7.5 quintillion grains of sand on Earth. That's a 7 followed by 18 zeros. It's a number so large it's hard to truly grasp. But the universe is even more mind-blowing. There are around 1 septillion stars, a 1 with 24 zeros. That's a million times more stars than grains of sand. For every grain of sand, there are over 100 stars out there, scattered across the vastness of space. The scale is almost beyond comprehension. Our sun is just one in a sea of septillions. It's humbling and awe-inspiring to realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things, yet how connected we are to it all. We're made of the same elements as those distant stars, the calcium in our bones, the iron in our blood, the oxygen we breathe, all forged in the hearts of ancient stars. Next time you look up, remember, you're connected to the cosmos in a very real way. The atoms in your body were once part of a star. The universe is vast, and so is our place in it. We're both tiny and extraordinary, part of something much bigger than ourselves. Feeling small? You're made of star stuff. Let's keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep reaching for the stars. On to the next fact. Bananas are radioactive, but don't panic. They contain potassium, and a tiny fraction is the radioactive isotope potassium-40. Every time you eat a banana, you get a minuscule dose of radiation. Scientists even use the banana equivalent dose to explain radiation exposure. Living near a nuclear plant for a year? That's like eating 25 bananas. But your body regulates potassium so you don't accumulate radiation. You'd need to eat millions of bananas at once for any harm. Radiation is a natural part of our world, soil, air, even food. Bananas are healthy superheroes, not villains. So enjoy your fruit. Science says it's safe. On to the next surprising fact. Let's keep going. Did you know cows have best friends? They form deep bonds and get stressed when separated from their buddies. Scientists found cows' heart rates drop when they're with their preferred partner. They graze, groom, and relax together, just like us with our friends. When separated, cows become anxious and agitated. These friendships are real and important for their well-being. Understanding this helps farmers keep herds happier and healthier. Cows aren't just eating machines, they're social, emotional beings. Friendship isn't just for humans, it's a fundamental part of life. Next time you see a cow, remember, it might just be missing its bestie. Compassion for animals starts with understanding. On to the next tiny genius. Let's keep going. Bees can recognize human faces. With brains the size of sesame seeds, bees use pattern recognition to remember faces. Scientists trained bees to associate a specific face with a sugary reward. Bees learned and remembered the face, even when pictures were moved. This is convergent evolution. Different species, similar solutions. For bees, recognizing patterns helps them find reliable flowers, and maybe friendly humans. So, your garden bees might know you by sight. They're not just mindless drones, they're observant, clever individuals. Next time a bee buzzes by, give it a nod. It might recognize you. Insects are smarter than we think. On to the next mind bender. water can exist as a solid liquid and gas all at once. This happens at the triple point, a precise temperature and pressure. In a lab, you can see ice, liquid water, and steam coexisting in perfect balance. The temperature is just above freezing and the pressure is extremely low. Boiling, freezing, and melting happen simultaneously in a delicate dance. The triple point is so precise it defines the Kelvin temperature scale. It's a mind-bending example of how strange the universe can be. Everyday things can behave in extraordinary ways. Science is full of surprises. Let's finish with a cosmic gem. On Uranus and Neptune, it literally rains diamonds. Deep inside these planets, methane is crushed by immense pressure and heat. The carbon atoms bond and form diamonds which fall like rain through the atmosphere. Over time, these diamonds may accumulate in thick layers around the planet's cores. Scientists have recreated this process in labs, making nanodiamonds from plastics under pressure. Imagine worlds where precious gems fall from the sky. The universe is stranger and more dazzling than fiction. We haven't sent a probe to dig for them yet, but the science is solid. It's a spectacular end to our journey of mind-blowing facts. Reality is wilder than any sci-fi. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Let's wrap up. Let's kick things off with a fact that sounds made up. You and a giraffe have the same number of neck bones. That's right, 7 cervical vertebrae, just like you. The difference? A giraffe's neck bones are just much longer. Each vertebrae can be over 10 inches long. Nature didn't reinvent the wheel, it just stretched it. So next time you feel a crick in your neck, remember you're built on the same blueprint as the tallest land animal. It's a wild reminder of how evolution reuses the same building blocks in totally different ways. You, me, and a giraffe, neck buddies for life. The animal kingdom is full of these hidden connections. Even with all our differences, we share a surprising amount under the surface. So, fact number 1, you're more like a giraffe than you ever imagined. Perfect icebreaker, right? It's a humbling thought. Life on Earth is more connected than it seems. Next time you see a giraffe, give it a nod. You're practically family. That's one wild way to start our list. Ready for the next surprise? Let's go. What's the hardest substance in your body? Not bone, it's your tooth enamel. That thin outer layer is tougher than any bone you have. Enamel is made of almost pure mineral, designed to handle decades of chewing, crunching, and grinding. But here's the twist. While it's super strong, it's vulnerable to acid. Sugary foods feed bacteria, which produce acid that eats away at enamel, leading to cavities. Once enamel is gone, your body can't regrow it. That's why dentists are always on about brushing and flossing. Your enamel is your body's unsung hero, harder than steel, but needs your protection. So next time you smile, remember, you're flashing some of the toughest material in your body. Treat it well. It's a weird paradox. Your strongest shield is also your most fragile. Strength isn't just about toughness, it's about care. Respect your enamel. It's working overtime for you, and that's one more reason to skip the soda. On to the next mind bender. Ready? Here's a fact that sounds bananas. You share about 60% of your DNA with a banana. No, you're not turning into fruit salad. It means that over half your genes have a recognizable counterpart in the banana genome. These are ancient genes that run basic cellular functions, reminders of our shared ancestry with all life on Earth. The rest of your DNA is what makes you human, not a fruit. It's a humbling reminder. Life is deeply connected, even across kingdoms. Next time you peel a banana, give it a nod. You're distant relatives. The diversity of life comes from small tweaks in our genetic code. So yes, you're part banana. And that's both weird and wonderful. Evolution is wild. Let's keep going. Ever heard that a duck's quack doesn't echo? Total myth. A duck's quack absolutely echoes. It's just hard to hear. The quack fades out slowly, so the echo blends with the original sound. Scientists and even mythbusters tested it. The echo is real. The myth stuck because the echo is camouflaged, not absent. Next time someone repeats this fact, you can set them straight. It's a perfect example of how common knowledge can be totally wrong. Ducks don't break the laws of physics. Sound waves reflect for everyone. The universe doesn't play favorites, not even for ducks. So the next time you hear a quack, know there's an echo hiding in the shadows. Science for the win. Don't believe everything you hear on the playground. Even the quirkiest myths can be busted. Ducks are just as echoey as the rest of us. On to the next surprise. Ready? Gold, rare, precious, and the cause of countless adventures. But here's the real treasure. 99% of Earth's gold is locked in the core, far beyond our reach. When Earth formed, heavy elements like gold sank to the center. There's enough gold in the core to cover the planet in a 20-inch layer. The gold we mine today, delivered by ancient asteroids after the core formed. Every gold ring is a piece of cosmic history. Don't bother digging. The real treasure is thousands of kilometers down, hotter than the sun. We're living on top of the biggest treasure chest in the solar system. It's a secret Earth keeps buried deep. Next time you see gold, remember, it's a rare visitor from space. The universe is full of hidden riches. Let's keep digging for more facts. Figuratively, of course. Onward. Walking on water isn't just a miracle, it's a daily reality for the basilisk lizard. Nicknamed the Jesus Christ lizard, it sprints across ponds using speed, anatomy, and physics. Its large, fringed feet slap the water, creating tiny air pockets that keep it from sinking, just for a moment. The lizard dashes 15-30 feet before gravity wins and it swims. Younger, lighter lizards are the best at this trick. It's a wild adaptation for escaping predators. Nature's solutions are sometimes just showing off. Walking on water? All you need is the right feet and a burst of speed. Evolution finds a way. Next time you see a pond, imagine a tiny lizard sprinting across. Nature never ceases to amaze. Ready for more? Did you know your heart can sync to the beat of your favorite song? It's called cardiac entrainment. Your heart rate speeds up or slows down to match the music's tempo. Slow song, your heart calms down. Fast beat, your heart races. Science proves it. Music literally moves us inside and out. That's why playlists can change your mood, energy, and even your breathing. You're the DJ of your own cardiovascular system. Music isn't just art, it's a tool for your body and mind. Next time you need a boost or to relax, pick your soundtrack wisely. Your heart is listening. That's the power of rhythm. Let's keep the beat going. Think volcanoes only erupt lava? Think again. On moons like Enceladus and Triton, there are cryovolcanoes, ice volcanoes that erupt water, ammonia, and methane. NASA's Cassini captured plumes of icy particles shooting into space from Enceladus. These eruptions hint at hidden oceans beneath the ice, warmed by tidal forces. Where there's liquid water, there could be life. Cryovolcanoes might be our best shot at finding extraterrestrial life in our solar system. The universe is more creative than we ever imagined. Life could be thriving in dark, cold oceans under miles of ice. Volcanoes aren't just hot, they can be chilling too. Space is full of surprises. Did you know people used to dream in black and white? Before color TV, most reported monochrome dreams, just like the movies they watched. As color TV spread, color dreams became the norm. Studies show our dreams are shaped by the media we consume. Our brains learn what the world should look like from our screens. Technology doesn't just change our waking lives, it colors our subconscious. Your dreams are a reflection of your time and culture. Next time you dream in color, thank your TV. The mind is more adaptable than we think. What else is shaping our inner world? What happens when we die? Science says the story isn't over when the heart stops. The brain can stay active for minutes after clinical death, sometimes showing bursts of activity like memory recall or dreaming. In one case, brain waves surged before and after the heart stopped, almost like a final vivid experience. The line between life and death is blurrier than we thought. The brain fights to stay online, giving us one last show before the end. It's a humbling, awe-inspiring mystery. Even at the end, our minds might have one final chapter. Death isn't a single moment, it's a process. The brain's resilience is astonishing. The final frontier is closer than we think. First up, ball lightning. Imagine a glowing sphere the size of a basketball floating through your window during a thunderstorm. Thousands have seen it, but scientists still can't explain how it works. It can pass through walls, hover in midair, and sometimes explodes or vanishes without a trace. Theories range from vaporized silicon to superheated air, but nothing fits all the eyewitness accounts. Some have seen it float down airplane aisles or drift out of fireplaces. It's a reminder that even with all our technology, nature still has secrets. Next time there's a storm, keep your eyes open. You might witness one of Earth's rarest mysteries. But don't touch it. We have no idea what it could do. Ball lightning is proof that our planet still holds unsolved puzzles. It's one of the most mind-blowing phenomena out there. And we're just getting started. Meet the wood frog, the ultimate survivor. When winter hits, this frog freezes solid. Its heart stops, its lungs shut down, and it's basically a frog cycle. But when spring comes, it thaws out and hops away like nothing happened. The secret? Its liver floods its body with glucose, acting as antifreeze to protect its cells from ice damage. The water between the cells freezes, but the cells themselves stay safe. If the timing is off, the frog won't survive. But evolution has perfected this trick. Scientists are studying these frogs to revolutionize organ transplants and medicine. Imagine freezing organs for months instead of hours. These little frogs could change the future of surgery. So next time you see a frog, remember, some of its cousins are real-life ice zombies. They cheat death every winter and come back to life every spring. That's not just survival, it's a superpower. Nature is full of surprises, and this one could save lives. The wood frog is proof that biology can be stranger than fiction. Let's hop to the next fact. Look up at the night sky. Those stars are more than just dots of light. For thousands of years, people saw heroes, monsters, and gods in those patterns. Constellations are humanity's oldest storybook, connecting us to ancient Greeks, Egyptians, and cultures worldwide. The sky was our first calendar and navigation system. Farmers and sailors depended on it. Every culture had its own stories for the stars, passing down knowledge and values. The stars united people under a shared narrative like a universal TV show. Next time you look up, remember you're seeing the same storybook that guided explorers and inspired dreamers for generations. The stars are a living link to our past. They're not just science, they're our shared heritage. The universe is written in stories across the sky, and you're part of that story. Most countries drown in trash, but Sweden has the opposite problem. They're so good at recycling, they've run out of garbage. They import trash from other countries just to keep their recycling plants running. Less than 1% of Swedish household waste ends up in landfills. The rest is recycled or burned for energy, powering thousands of homes. Recycling is a way of life in Sweden, taught in schools, practiced everywhere. They even have a law called allemansrätten, giving everyone the right to roam and camp on any land as long as they respect nature. Nature belongs to everyone, and environmentalism is woven into their identity. Sweden's system is so effective, they get paid to take other countries' trash. It's the ultimate win-win: clean energy, less waste, and a culture that values the outdoors. Imagine if every country treated the environment this way. Sweden isn't just a recycling champion, they've made saving the planet a business. They're living proof that environmental responsibility works, and they're showing the world how it's done. Next up, a sport that's smarter than you think. Let's go. American football isn't just brute force, it's a mental chess match. Every play is a carefully planned battle, with each player acting as a strategic piece. The quarterback reads the defense, changes plays on the fly, and processes a ton of information in seconds. NFL playbooks are massive, with hundreds of complex plays and assignments. One mistake and the whole play falls apart. The real action happens between the plays. Coaches analyze, players adjust, and strategies evolve. It's a constant battle of wits, not just strength. Watch the linemen, the receivers, the safeties. There's a hidden game within the game. Football is about brains as much as brawn. It's a game of inches and intellect. Trees aren't silent. They're connected by a secret underground network called the Wood Wide Web. Mycorrhizal fungi link tree roots, creating a biological internet beneath the forest floor. Trees use this network to send warnings about insect attacks and share resources like water and nutrients. Mother trees support younger ones and even recognize their own kin. A teaspoon of soil can contain miles of fungal threads, connecting dozens of trees, even across species. Forests aren't just collections of trees, they're superorganisms, working together to survive. When you walk in the woods, you're stepping over a hidden world of communication and cooperation. The forest is alive in ways we're only beginning to understand. Trees talk, trade, and help each other thrive. Nature's internet is real, and it's right under our feet. Next, let's dive into the ocean. Seals aren't just cute, they're ocean superheroes. Their whiskers detect tiny vibrations, letting them hunt fish in total darkness. Some seals can dive over 2,000 feet and hold their breath for more than an hour. They slow their heart rate and store oxygen in their blood and muscles, surviving crushing depths. The leopard seal is the apex predator of the Antarctic, hunting penguins with brutal efficiency. Seals are highly specialized marine hunters, each with unique adaptations. From deep-diving Weddell seals to fierce leopard seals, they dominate their environment. They're more than adorable sea dogs. They're marine assassins. The ocean is full of wonders, and seals are among the most impressive. Next time you see a seal, remember, it's a real-life superhero. Let's explore a land of extremes. Chile is a country of wild extremes. In the north, the Atacama Desert is the driest place on Earth. Some parts haven't seen rain in centuries. Head south and you'll find ancient glaciers and the stunning landscapes of Patagonia. Chile sits on the Ring of Fire, with over 2,000 volcanoes and some of the world's clearest skies for stargazing. It's a geologist's dream and an astronomer's paradise. And then there's Easter Island, home to the mysterious Moai statues, giant stone heads carved by an ancient civilization. How they moved and erected these massive figures is still a mystery. Chile packs deserts, glaciers, volcanoes, and ancient wonders into one country. It's a non-stop adventure for nature and history lovers. If you want your mind blown by the planet's extremes, Chile is the place. Now, let's talk about art that stirs up debate. Abstract art, genius or just random scribbles? Unlike portraits or landscapes, abstract art uses color, shape, and texture to express emotions or ideas. It's like music. A sad song doesn't show sadness, it makes you feel it. Some pieces sell for millions, sparking debate about value and meaning. The real question isn't, what is it? But, how does it make you feel? Abstract art challenges us to look beyond the obvious and find our own meaning. Whether it's a masterpiece or a mess is up to you. Next, let's uncover the secrets of a lost city. Machu Picchu, famous, mysterious, and perched high in the Andes. It wasn't really lost. Locals always knew it was there. The real mystery is how the Incas built it. Massive granite blocks fit so perfectly you can't slide a leaf between them. No mortar needed. Built atop an 8,000-foot mountain, its purpose is still debated. Royal estate, sacred site, or observatory. The city is aligned with the cosmos. Windows and structures track the sun's path. During the winter solstice, sunlight illuminates a sacred stone in the Temple of the Sun. The Incas left no written record, so much remains unknown. Machu Picchu is a marvel of engineering, astronomy, and mystery. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the secrets of the past, and it's one of the world's greatest wonders. Let's start with one of the most persistent and widely believed myths about the human mind. We only use 10% of our brains. You've probably heard this claim in movies, read it in books, or even had someone mention it in a casual conversation. It's a statement that sounds both mysterious and a little bit magical, as if there's a hidden reservoir of untapped genius just waiting to be unlocked inside each of us. But is there any truth to it? The idea that we're only using a tiny fraction of our brain power makes for a fantastic movie plot. It's the perfect setup for stories about unlocking superhuman abilities, telekinesis, or instant genius. Hollywood loves to play with this concept, and it's easy to see why. It's dramatic, it's exciting, and it makes us wonder what we could achieve if we could just activate the rest of our brains. But as entertaining as these stories are, the reality is very different. Thanks to modern science and technology, we can actually see what's happening inside our heads. Brain scans, like fMRI and PET scans, have shown that there's activity throughout the entire brain, even when we're not doing anything in particular. Whether you're reading, talking, daydreaming, or just sitting quietly, your brain is a hive of activity. Different regions light up for different tasks, but there's no part of your brain that just sits there, unused, waiting for you to discover it. In fact, if the myth were true and we only used 10% of our brains, then injuries to the other 90% wouldn't matter at all. But we know that's not the case. Even small injuries to the brain can have serious, life-altering consequences. Every part of the brain has a role to play, and damage to any area can affect memory, movement, speech, or even personality. This is why doctors and neuroscientists take brain injuries so seriously, because every bit of brain tissue is important. So where did this myth come from? It's likely a misunderstanding or a misquote from early neuroscience research. Some scientists in the late 19th and early 20th centuries noted that not all neurons fire at once, or that we don't always use every region of the brain simultaneously. Over time, these observations were twisted and exaggerated, eventually morphing into the catchy but misleading 10% claim. It's a classic example of how scientific facts can get lost in translation and become urban legends. The truth is, your brain is always working, even when you're asleep. While you rest, your brain is busy processing memories, regulating your body, and even solving problems. Studies using EEG and other monitoring tools show that there's no such thing as a completely inactive part of the brain. Every region has a job, whether it's controlling movement, processing emotions, or helping you dream. So the next time someone tells you that you're not using your full brain, you can confidently set the record straight. You're already using all of it, just not all at once, and not for the same tasks. Your brain is a complex, dynamic organ, constantly adapting and working behind the scenes to help you think, feel, and experience the world. You don't need to unlock some hidden potential to be extraordinary. The fact that you can learn, love, create, and overcome challenges is proof that your brain is already doing amazing things every single day. You're not a superhero in waiting. You're already incredible just as you are. Now let's get a little morbid and explore another myth that's just as persistent and just as fascinating. Here's a creepy one of those classic tales that seems to pop up every time someone talks about death and the mysteries that surround it. You might have heard it whispered at sleepovers, or maybe you've seen it in a horror movie. The idea that after we die, our hair and nails keep growing, as if the body is still alive in some small, unsettling way. Hair and nails keep growing after death. It sounds like something out of a ghost story, doesn't it? But let's dig a little deeper and see what's really going on. The truth is, it's just an illusion. After death, the body begins to dehydrate. The skin, which is made mostly of water, starts to dry out and shrink. As the skin pulls back from the hair shafts and the nail beds, it creates the appearance that hair and nails are getting longer. But in reality, nothing is actually growing. No growth happens. There's no energy, no cell production, and no biological processes left to fuel any kind of change. Once the heart stops beating, the body's cells quickly run out of oxygen and energy, and everything grinds to a halt. Hair and nails need living cells to grow, and without life, that process is impossible. The growth is just skin pulling back, not actual change. It's a trick of the eye, a natural part of the body's return to the earth, but nothing supernatural or mysterious. It's a classic optical illusion that's fueled spooky stories for years. Myths like this have been passed down through generations, adding a little extra chill to our tales of the afterlife. But science gives us a much less eerie explanation. So, no need for afterlife barbers or nail salons. Those jobs are strictly for the living. The body's processes stop, including hair and nail growth. What remains is simply the body's natural response to dehydration and time. So next time you hear this myth, you'll know the real story behind it. Let's move from the graveyard to the sky. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. You've probably heard this phrase before, maybe from a friend, a movie, or even a teacher. But let's set the record straight. It's simply not true. In fact, this old saying is one of the most persistent myths about lightning, and it's time to bust it wide open. Lightning is a force of nature that doesn't play by human rules or superstitions. It's actually quite common for lightning to strike the same place more than once, especially when that place is tall, isolated, or made of metal. Structures like radio towers, skyscrapers, and even certain trees can become repeat targets for lightning bolts during storms. The reason? These objects stand out in the landscape, making them the easiest path for lightning to reach the ground. Take the Empire State Building, for example. This iconic skyscraper in New York City is struck by lightning an average of 20 to 25 times every single year. Sometimes it's even hit multiple times during a single thunderstorm. Far from being a one-time event, lightning seems to have favorite spots, and the Empire State Building is definitely one of them. Why does this happen? It all comes down to physics. Lightning always seeks the path of least resistance to the ground. Tall, pointed, or conductive objects make that journey easier, so lightning is naturally drawn to them again and again. It's not about memory or luck. It's about electricity finding the quickest way home. The myth probably started because the odds of lightning hitting the exact same random spot in an open field are incredibly low. But when it comes to objects that stand out, like trees, towers, or buildings, the odds change dramatically. These objects can and do get struck repeatedly, sometimes with devastating results. So, if you ever find yourself caught in a thunderstorm, don't assume you're safe just because lightning has already struck nearby. Nature doesn't keep score, and lightning doesn't care about fairness. It's all about physics, not second chances. Always take shelter and stay safe. Now, as the sky darkens and the storm rolls in, let's head into the heart of the storm and uncover more electrifying truths. Blind as a bat. Totally false. All bats can see, and many have excellent night vision. Echolocation is their superpower, not a replacement for sight. They use both vision and sonar to hunt and navigate. The myth likely started because bats are nocturnal and fly erratically in daylight. In reality, they're masters of the dark, not blind at all. So, bats would be offended by that saying. Now, from bats to a famous Frenchman. Napoleon, famous for being short, right? Not really. His recorded height was in French feet, which are longer than English feet. Converted, he was about 5'6", average for his time. The myth spread thanks to British propaganda and cartoons. Standing next to his tall imperial guard made him look shorter. Napoleon was just a regular-sized guy, not a tiny tyrant. Sometimes history is just bad math and good PR. Now let's talk about color-changing lizards. Chameleons, masters of camouflage? Not exactly. They change color mainly to communicate, not to hide. Bright colors signal dominance or attract mates. Dark colors can mean stress or rejection. They also shift colors to regulate body temperature. The mechanism involves special skin cells, not pigment bags. Camouflage is a side effect, not the main reason. Chameleons wear their emotions on their skin. Now let's talk about your senses. We're taught we have 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. But science says we have many more. Balance, equilibrioception, body awareness, proprioception, temperature, pain, hunger, and more all count as senses. The 5 senses idea comes from Aristotle, not modern science. Our bodies are way more complex than a simple list. We're a symphony of sensory input, not just 5 channels. So next time someone says 5 senses, you know better. Now let's tackle a parenting myth. Sugar makes kids hyper. Science says, nope. Studies show no direct link between sugar and hyperactivity. Kids get wild at parties because of excitement, not cupcakes. Parents expect sugar to cause chaos, so they notice it more. It's confirmation bias, not chemistry. Sugar isn't great for health, but it's not making kids bounce off the walls. The real culprit? The party itself. Now, a myth that could save lives. You have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. False and dangerous. There's no law requiring a waiting period in the US or most countries. The first hours are critical for finding someone safe. Police want you to report someone missing as soon as you're concerned. The myth comes from movies, not reality. Don't wait. Call immediately if you're worried. Spreading the truth here could save lives. Now let's end with a classic. Bulls hate red? Not at all. Bulls are colorblind to red. They see it as gray or yellowish. What makes them charge is movement, not color. Matadors use red for dramatic effect and to hide blood, not to anger the bull. Tests show bulls react to any moving object, regardless of color. The red cape is for the audience, not the animal. So wear red to the farm. Bulls don't care. Let's wrap up. Perseverance is more than a rover. It's a 6-wheeled, car-sized laboratory built to survive Mars. Its wheels traverse rocky terrain, its robotic arm drills and collects samples with surgical precision. Mastcam Z zooms in on distant features. Sherlock and Watson hunt for the chemical building blocks of life. Perseverance brought a companion Ingenuity, the first helicopter to fly on another planet, proving flight is possible in Mars's thin air. Powered by a plutonium generator, Perseverance endures frigid nights and dust storms, sending data across millions of kilometers. Its mission seeks signs of ancient life, not living creatures, but fossilized or chemical traces left by microbes billions of years ago. Every movement and sample is part of a meticulous investigation into Mars's deep past. Perseverance is our proxy in a grand detective story. searching for a time when water flowed and life may have existed. It's a paleontologist on another planet reading a story written in the rocks. The goal is simple, but the execution is breathtakingly complex. Perseverance is our eyes and hands in the search for life beyond Earth. Perseverance's destination was chosen with care. Jezero Crater, a 45-kilometer-wide basin that was once a lake. Ancient river channels on the crater's rim reveal a powerful waterway that filled the basin, creating a vast lake. As the river slowed, it deposited sediment, building a delta, prime real estate for preserving signs of life. Billions of years ago, Jezero was a world of blue skies and water, an ideal habitat for microbial life. The delta's layers are like pages in a history book, each capturing a different era. By drilling into these layers, Perseverance travels back through time, searching for evidence of life's emergence. Jezero had all the ingredients for life: water, essential elements, and energy. Today it's a cold desert, but the evidence of its watery past remains, preserved in the landscape. The river channels, delta, and ancient shorelines are silent monuments to a lost world. Perseverance is here to unlock this geological treasure chest. The hope: to find preserved biosignatures in the delta's fine-grained sediments. Jezero represents our best chance to answer the question, was Mars ever alive? The search begins in this ancient, silent monument. Perseverance's first images transported us to the surface of another world. We saw the ancient lakebed up close, rust-colored rocks, distant hills, and a butterscotch sky. The geology is diverse: volcanic rocks, sedimentary layers, and conglomerates shaped by ancient rivers. Hoodoos, tall, thin spires, stand as monuments to wind erosion over billions of years. The delta's cliff face reveals intricate layers: mudstone from calm waters, sandstone from river flows. Mars's colors are more than red: ochre, tan, gray, even purple, hinting at complex mineral chemistry. Each image is a scientific puzzle, sparking debate and analysis. Close-ups of rocks reveal textures and minerals shaped by water and time. Every photograph is scrutinized, building a richer picture of Jezero's history. These aren't just postcards, they're vital data telling Mars's story in stone. The images connect us to a world both alien and strangely familiar. Perseverance's camera is our window into Mars's deep past. For the first time, Perseverance let us hear Mars. Its microphones captured the whir of machinery, the crunch of wheels, and then Mars itself. The faint, low rumble of Martian wind, muffled by the thin atmosphere, made Mars real in a new way. Sound travels differently here. Higher pitches fade, lower ones carry. The Supercam's laser zaps rocks and the sound reveals their hardness, a new tool for planetary science. Martian acoustics teach us about the atmosphere's density and turbulence. Scientists can even listen for dust devils before they appear on camera. But beyond science, hearing Mars bridges the distance, making us feel present on another world. The wind's whisper is the sound of solitude, of an ancient sleeping planet. Now we can imagine standing on Mars, feeling the chill, seeing the dust, and hearing the wind. The silence of Mars has been broken. We are listening and the red planet is speaking. Perseverance has given us a new sense, the sound of another world. Perseverance's central quest is chemical, searching for evidence of past water and organic molecules, the building blocks of life. It has found both. Sherlock detected organic molecules in minerals linked to water, a tantalizing clue, but not proof of life. These molecules could form geologically, but their presence in an ancient lakebed is significant. Perseverance also found minerals like clays and carbonates, which form in long-standing water. Some rocks show signs of being altered by water multiple times, revealing a dynamic water cycle. The delta's fine sediments are ideal for preserving these clues. Each discovery adds to a coherent picture: a lake fed by a river. With rocks changed by water and organic molecules present, the evidence suggests Mars had the right conditions for life. The question is no longer if the environment was right, but did life actually begin? Perseverance is building the case, one molecule at a time. The search for life is now more focused than ever. With mounting evidence, persistent lakes, water-altered minerals, and organic molecules, the question grows: did life exist here? Perseverance now hunts for biosignatures, fossilized microbial mats, chemical fingerprints, and microscopic textures. On Earth, microbial mats can become stromatolites, layered structures that preserve life's traces. Finding similar features in Jezero's mudstones would be monumental. The rover also looks for chemical signatures like unusual carbon isotopes or complex molecules made by life. The delta's fine clays offer the best chance to preserve these delicate traces. Perseverance's cameras can see individual grains, searching for patterns only life could make. Every clue is scrutinized. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. A single clue isn't enough, but a web of evidence, structural, chemical, mineralogical, could tell an undeniable story. Perseverance isn't looking for a smoking gun, but for a tapestry of signs that, together, reveal a once-living world. The search is rigorous, and the stakes are cosmic. Perseverance's greatest legacy may be the samples it collects for return to Earth. It drills, seals, and stores rock cores in titanium tubes, each a fragment of Mars's history. Once complete, the tubes will be left on the surface, waiting for the next mission. NASA and ESA will send a lander and fetch rover to collect the samples. The samples will be launched into Mars orbit, captured by an orbiter, and returned to Earth. After re-entry, they'll be taken to secure labs for analysis. Scientists will study them with tools far beyond what a rover can carry. They'll date rocks, search for biosignatures, and unlock secrets Perseverance can only hint at. This mission is a gift to future generations, a chance to answer the question of life on Mars. The real work will begin when Mars comes to Earth. Perseverance's photos are more than data, they're a narrative of exploration. We see the rover's tracks, its hardware dusted red and its wheels worn by the journey. Self-portraits show Perseverance small and solitary against Jezero's vastness. The images capture time, harsh midday light, ethereal blue sunsets, and the slow passage of Martian days. Human artifacts, parachutes, backshells, lie like relics of a lost expedition. Through these images, we join the mission, sharing in each discovery. The photos create a bond between us and this distant robot. They reflect our curiosity and drive to explore. Mars's landscape is a reminder of what could have been, a sister planet on a different path. The next chapter is still unwritten, waiting in the rocks of Mars. Perseverance's images tell a human story of wonder and discovery. The moment I landed in Recife, I was struck by the sheer amount of water everywhere. Rivers, canals, and bridges seemed to weave through every corner of the city, creating a landscape unlike anything I'd seen before. I got why they call it the Venice of South America. But as I explored, I realized that comparison barely scratches the surface of what makes Recife so special. Honestly, that nickname doesn't do it justice. Recife isn't just a city with bridges. It's a city defined by them, shaped by the water that flows through its heart. The city is built on a patchwork of islands, all connected by a sprawling network of rivers and canals. Each neighborhood feels like its own little world, separated by water but united by bridges. Bridges are everywhere, over 400 in the greater Recife area, more than Venice itself. Some are sleek and modern, others are centuries old, each with its own story. The water isn't just a feature, it's the city's lifeblood. People live, work, and play along the riverbanks, and the constant movement of boats gives Recife a pulse all its own. To really experience it, I hopped on a boat with a local guide. Gliding through the waterways, I saw the city from a whole new perspective, one you just can't get from the streets. From the water you glide under historic bridges, some iron, some ancient stone. Each bridge is a gateway to a different era, a different story in Recife's long history. The city is a living museum with modern skyscrapers rising beside colonial buildings. It's a place where the past and present are always in conversation. People use boats like cars, and the rivers are the main highways. It's a rhythm of life that's both practical and poetic, connecting communities in ways roads never could. The architecture tells the story of centuries of change. You can see the layers of history in every building, every bridge, every street that hugs the water's edge. You see how Recife grew, adapting to the landscape instead of conquering it. The city bends and curves with the rivers, embracing the water rather than fighting against it. It's a maze of islands, a puzzle of bridges, and every turn reveals something new. A hidden alley, a colorful mural, a bustling market by the water. The guide laughed when I asked if anyone's counted every bridge. By the time you finish, they've built more. The city is always growing, always changing. This place is always evolving, shaped by its waterways. New bridges rise, old ones are restored, and the city's story keeps unfolding along the rivers. The boat tour showed me Recife is more than beaches. It's a unique urban experiment, a city that's learned to live with water in creative, beautiful ways. History and modern life flow together here. Every day, locals and visitors alike cross these bridges, connecting not just places but generations. And this was just the beginning. I could feel there was so much more to uncover, so many stories waiting along the next canal or behind the next bridge. I knew the city's secrets ran deeper than its canals. Every waterway seemed to hint at hidden histories and local legends. Time to dig in. Let's go. Recife's bridges and waterways are just the start of its story. After the boat tour, I was curious to dig deeper into Recife's history, and what I discovered absolutely blew my mind. It turns out this city wasn't always Portuguese. At one point it was actually under Dutch rule, which is something most people don't realize. The Dutch left their mark by building canals and bridges that still shape the city today. But their influence went even further. They brought a rare spirit of religious tolerance for the time. That openness attracted Sephardic Jews escaping persecution in Europe, who found a new home here and built the very first synagogue in the Americas, Kahal Zur, Israel. Walking down Rua de Bom Jesus, a street lined with centuries of history, I finally found the synagogue tucked between colorful colonial buildings. From the outside, it looks like just another colonial building, but stepping inside is like traveling back in time. Every detail tells a story. You can see the original stone foundations and centuries-old artifacts all preserved from that first Jewish community that settled here. Standing in that space, I realized something incredible. The roots of New York's Jewish community actually trace back to this very spot in Recife. When the Portuguese retook the city, many Jews were forced to flee. Some of them sailed north and helped found the first Jewish community in New Amsterdam, which would later become New York City. This hidden chapter of history adds a whole new layer to Recife, connecting it to stories and places far beyond Brazil. It's not just a tale of colonizers and empires, it's about journeys, seeking refuge, and the ripple effects of migration across continents and generations. Every cobblestone street here has a story to tell, if you know where to look. Empires clashed, cultures blended, and new ideas were born in this melting pot of a city. And yet, all of this happened in a city that much of the world has overlooked or forgotten. Sometimes the most extraordinary stories are hiding in plain sight. Recife is living proof that history is everywhere, just waiting to be discovered. Now let's get spooky. Recife's ghost stories are next level. The Cruz do Patral monument by the harbor is infamous for hauntings. Locals report strange lights and screams at night. I visited at sunset, and the atmosphere was genuinely eerie. But the wildest story? The floating coffins. In 1975, a massive flood submerged the city's oldest cemetery. Hundreds of coffins floated through the streets. Residents saw caskets drifting past their homes. It was a real-life nightmare that left a deep scar on the city. The event blurred the line between the living and the dead in the most literal way. Recife's beauty hides a dark, unpredictable side. Here, nature and history collide in the most shocking ways. Exploring Recife is like peeling an onion. Each layer is more intense than the last. This city's past is always just beneath the surface, and sometimes it rises up. Literally. Ready for more? After all that, I needed some sun, so I hit Boa Viagem Beach. It's paradise, golden sand, warm water, palm trees, but there's a catch. This is one of the world's top shark attack hotspots. Red warning signs line the shore. Danger, shark attack risk. Since the 1990s, over 60 attacks have happened here. The culprit? A new port disrupted bull shark breeding grounds, forcing them closer to shore. The river nearby attracts them too. The rule, stay behind the reef at low tide and you're safe, never go beyond it. Lifeguards are strict, they'll shout if you get too close. For the video, I waded into the natural pools at low tide. The water was amazing, but I was hyper aware of every shadow. It's paradise with a dangerous edge. That's Recife, beautiful, wild, and demanding respect. You can't just enjoy the view, you have to understand the risks. It's an adrenaline rush and a lesson in nature's power. This city keeps you on your toes, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's keep going. Think you know Carnival? Most people picture Rio's glitzy parades and samba dancers, but there's another side to this legendary festival that's even wilder. Recife's Carnival is a whole different beast. bigger, louder, and more untamed than anything you've seen before. Here the party spills out onto every street, alley, and square. It's raw, chaotic, and happens right on the streets. Free for everyone, no tickets, no barriers, just pure celebration. The heart of it all is Frevo, a wild, acrobatic dance with tiny umbrellas and frantic brass bands. The music is fast, the moves are dizzying, and the energy is contagious. I joined the Galo da Madrugada, the world's biggest carnival parade, with over 2 million people flooding the streets at sunrise. The energy is unreal, and the sheer scale is mind-blowing. Here, you're not just a spectator, you're swept up in the madness, part of the show, dancing shoulder to shoulder with locals and visitors alike. Strangers become friends in an instant, and the city transforms into a massive, open-air party where everyone is welcome. I got swept up in a bloco, one of the many street bands, dancing through the winding streets as the music echoed off the old colonial buildings. Then came maracatu, Afro-Brazilian drum groups in ornate costumes, bringing centuries of history and tradition to life with every beat. The drumming is hypnotic, the atmosphere electric. You can feel the rhythm in your bones, and the crowd moves as one. And then, towering above it all, the boncos gigantes, giant puppets of celebrities and historical figures, dance through the crowd, adding a surreal, playful twist to the chaos. It's hilarious, surreal, and pure Recife, where the unexpected is always just around the corner. Hours flew by as I danced, ate street food bursting with flavor and soaked in the beautiful chaos that never seemed to slow down. The colors, the sounds, the passion, there's no way to capture it all on camera, it's something you have to feel for yourself. Recife's carnival is the city's soul on full display, a living, breathing celebration of its people and culture. It's creative, resilient, and fiercely proud, a testament to the spirit of Recife. Forget what you know about carnival. This is the real party, raw and unfiltered. It's the most joyful, uninhibited celebration I've ever experienced, where happiness is contagious and everyone is invited to join in. In Recife, carnival isn't just a party, it's a way of life, and it's open to everyone. After 24 hours in this insane city, here's my answer. Absolutely yes. But come ready for adventure. Recife isn't a passive vacation spot. It demands your attention and rewards your curiosity. It's for travelers who want to dive deep, not just skim the surface. Here, history lives in the streets, the music and the people. You can explore colonial forts, swim at wild beaches and party all night, sometimes in the same day. Recife is unapologetically itself, beautiful, chaotic, and a little dangerous. It's not polished for tourists. It's real, raw, and unforgettable. If you want a trip that sticks with you, put Recife at the top of your list. This city is a treasure chest waiting to be opened. The journey is worth it. The best travel stories are found off the beaten path, so go book that ticket. Recife is waiting. Our journey starts in sub-Saharan Africa with the deceptively docile hippopotamus. Despite their round, almost comical appearance, hippos are among Africa's most aggressive animals. They fiercely defend their territory, attacking boats and intruders without warning. Weighing up to 1.5 tons, they can charge at 30 kilometers per hour, faster than a human can run. Their jaws open 180 degrees, revealing tusks up to 50 centimeters long, capable of crushing bone and splitting boats. Hippos kill an estimated 500 people each year, more than most other African wildlife. Their herbivorous diet hides a violent temperament and deadly power. To share water with a hippo is to risk a sudden, brutal attack. They remind us in nature appearances can be fatally misleading. The hippo is a paradox. Gentle grazer by day, territorial juggernaut by night. Respect the river and never underestimate what lurks beneath. On to our next killer. Next, we meet the elephant. Majestic, intelligent, and fiercely protective. Elephants are known for their tight family bonds and emotional depth, but provoke a mother or a bull in musth, and their gentle nature vanishes. Weighing over 6 tons, an elephant can charge at 40 kilometers per hour, flattening anything in its path. Their aggression is often triggered by threats to their young or stress from human encroachment. Each year, elephants are responsible for up to 500 human deaths, often in areas where people and elephants compete for space. Their intelligence makes them unpredictable, and their size makes them unstoppable. Observing elephants in the wild is awe-inspiring, but always remember their power. Even the most revered creatures have limits that should never be crossed. The elephant's wrath is a force of nature, one that demands respect. Let's move to the water's edge for our next predator. The savanna's gentle giant can become its most dangerous force. Never forget, respect is survival. Now to Africa's rivers, home to the Nile crocodile, a living fossil and master ambush predator. Crocodiles wait motionless, disguised as driftwood, until prey approaches the water's edge. In a flash, they explode from the water, jaws snapping shut with a bite force of 5,000 pounds per square inch. Their infamous death roll drowns and dismembers victims, making escape nearly impossible. Nile crocodiles are responsible for hundreds, possibly up to 1,000 human deaths each year. They make no distinction between animal and human. Anyone near the water is at risk. Their ancient design is a testament to evolutionary perfection. To look into a crocodile's eyes is to see a predator honed by millions of years. The river's surface may seem calm, but danger lurks just below. The Nile crocodile is a chilling reminder. Never let your guard down near the water. Next, we shrink down to face a tiny but deadly threat. The most dangerous killers aren't always the biggest. Beware what waits in the shallows. Meet the tsetse fly, a tiny insect with a deadly bite. Found across sub-Saharan Africa, it transmits sleeping sickness, a disease caused by microscopic parasites. The fly's bite injects trypanosomes, leading to fever, confusion, and, without treatment, death. Sleeping sickness devastates both people and livestock, crippling communities and economies. Tens of thousands remain at risk, especially where healthcare is scarce. The tsetse fly's impact goes far beyond its size, shaping the fate of millions. It's a reminder that the smallest creatures can have the biggest consequences. Next, we travel to the Americas for another silent killer. Sometimes, the deadliest threats are almost invisible. Beware the bite you never feel. In the Americas, the assassin bug, also called the kissing bug, lurks in homes, striking at night. Its bite is painless, but it leaves behind parasites that cause Chagas disease. The infection can go unnoticed for years, silently damaging the heart and digestive system. Chagas disease affects millions, leading to heart failure and death if untreated. Most victims don't realize they're infected until it's too late. The assassin bug is a silent killer, hiding in plain sight. Even the comfort of home can harbor hidden dangers. Now let's meet a killer that moves even slower. The freshwater snail seems harmless, but it's a key player in spreading schistosomiasis. These snails release parasitic larvae into water, which penetrate human skin and cause chronic illness. Schistosomiasis damages organs, stunts growth, and kills over 200,000 people each year. The snail's slow pace belies its deadly impact. Even the most unassuming creatures can unleash devastating consequences. In the chain of disease, the smallest links can be the most dangerous. Next, danger comes from a familiar friend. Sometimes trust can be fatal. Dogs, our loyal companions, can become deadly when infected with rabies. Rabies is a viral disease, almost always fatal once symptoms appear. Transmitted through bites, dogs cause 99% of human rabies cases worldwide. The virus turns even the gentlest pet aggressive and unpredictable. Rabies kills nearly 59,000 people each year, many of them children. Prevention is possible through vaccination, but in many regions, it remains out of reach. Our bond with animals comes with responsibility. When neglected, it can turn our best friend into a lethal threat. Now, we face a creature that inspires primal fear. Snakes, stealthy, silent, and armed with venom, are among the world's most efficient killers. Each year, millions are bitten, over 100,000 die, and many more are left disabled. Neurotoxic and hemotoxic venoms can paralyze, destroy tissue, and cause organ failure. The inland taipan's venom is the most potent, but most deaths occur in rural areas with little access to antivenom. Snake bites are a preventable tragedy, yet antivenom remains scarce and expensive. Snakes are not evil, just highly evolved predators. For those who cross their path, the consequences can be swift and deadly. The world's most dangerous animals aren't always the ones we expect. Next, we turn the lens on ourselves. Sometimes the greatest threat is us. Let's take a closer look. The second most dangerous animal is us, humans. We kill for reasons beyond survival, power, ideology, and sometimes senseless violence. Hundreds of thousands die each year from homicide. millions more in wars. Our actions drive extinctions, pollute the planet, and threaten all life, including our own. We possess the intelligence to create and to destroy on a massive scale. Our duality is unique, capable of compassion, yet also of unimaginable cruelty. We are the only species aware of our impact, yet the killing continues. Humanity's legacy is both brilliant and terrifying. But there's one animal even deadlier. The ultimate killer is smaller than you think. The world's deadliest animal is the mosquito, a tiny insect responsible for more deaths than any other creature. Mosquitoes transmit malaria, dengue, Zika, yellow fever, and more. Malaria alone kills over 600,000 people each year, mostly children in Africa. Dengue infects hundreds of millions, and Zika causes severe birth defects. Mosquitoes thrive in any stagnant water, making them nearly impossible to control. Their adaptability and sheer numbers make them the ultimate vector for disease. For every mosquito you swat, thousands more are waiting. We fear lions and sharks, but it's the mosquito that has shaped human history. Size is no measure of danger in nature. The mosquito's legacy is written in millions of lives lost. It is without question the most dangerous animal on Earth. The deadliest threats are often the ones we overlook. Now let's reflect on what we've learned. These are the 10 deadliest animals on our planet. Some massive, some microscopic, all lethal in their own way. Danger often comes in unexpected forms, reminding us to respect every creature. Awareness and knowledge are our best defenses in the wild. Which animal would you fear most? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, like, subscribe, and share for more wild explorations. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe, explorers.